Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Gaithers back with another video. Listen, as you can tell on the screen, I'm reacting to this Donavon Mitchell trade. See, I have my Cavs hat on for this. All right, now, listen. I'm a Clippers fan. As my bio, I tell everybody my YouTube bio, Twitch bio, all that good stuff. Biggest Clippers fan on the platform. But I just love basketball, right? I have all the I'm gonna say a hat for every team. So I had to throw my Cavs hat today. I have a Jazz hat over there too, because they were a W in this trade as well. But even more of a W for the Cavs, man. Listen, man. Go to Woj's page over here. So Cleveland is sending its 3 unprotected picks to Utah, 2025, 2027, and 2029, and a 2026 and 2028 pick swap, along with. Wait, this is just the picks. Okay, so yeah, this is honestly this is the main thing though, because the only players they sent, I believe, was Ochai Agbaji. If I butchered your name, I apologize. But they sent over Ochai. They sent over, I want to say Larry Markkinen and Colin Sexton on a sign trade. Well, they sent over Larry Markkinen. Larry Markkinen signed a contract with them. They didn't want Colin Sexton in the first place. They didn't want to pay him. Larry Markkinen is, he was cool for them this year, but is whatever. And then Ochai, he's pretty much another first-round pick because he got drafted this year. That's it. So you gave up a lot of pick equity over the next 5 years, right? But you landed an all-star, right? So you have, adding 3-time all-star Donavon Mitchell, and a lot of that already had 2 all-stars this year. They have 3 all-stars from this past season, and then Evan Mobley's clearly a future all-star. So I think this is a great trade. The one problem is, and everybody's been talking about it on Twitter, the defense in the backcourt, 2-6-1 guards, right? But I still think, here's the initial trade. I still think that this I still think that they can do some damage in the East, man. If we just take a look at his stats, this is a guy that averaged 26 last season. And I think about the Cavs this past year. Darius Garland was able to do it all on the offensive side of the ball, especially when other people were going down, all the other ball handlers. When Colin Sexton went down, and then Ricky Rubio, which they got back, by the way. When he went down, this is Darius Garland controlling the whole offense, pretty much 48 minutes a night. You have another guy who is going to go out there and average 25 points. Maybe a little less because he's playing with other people that can take some pressure off of him now. But in Utah, this dude Donavon Mitchell was doing everything on the offensive side of the ball. For the Cavs, Darius Garland was doing everything on the offensive side of the ball. So now we got 2 guys that can take some pressure off of each other. You still got an elite rim protection, right? So their defense is still going to be top tier because they have Evan Mobley, who in my opinion is probably going to be the next Tim Duncan, and you got Jared Allen down there. So you have elite rim protection. You have Isaac Okoro, who's going to have a big role this year because even though he can't shoot that well, hopefully he improves on that. He's a great perimeter defender. And if you can really get these guys, right, even though Donavon Mitchell and Darius Garland are 6'1", if you get these guys to lock in on the defensive side of the ball, specifically Donavon Mitchell, if they can convince him, listen, we're taking some pressure off of you now. You have other guys around you that can control the offense. You have Darius Garland, who's one of the best point guards in the league last year and one of the best floor generals, right? We're taking some pressure off of you on offense. You're not putting all your effort into that. So now you tap into your younger self, even though he's still young. He's 25, 26 years old, something like that. Tap into your younger self, because back in his college days, in his very early years, he was a solid defender. Last year he was dreadful, right? But he was a solid defender. So if he can tap into that and become at least a solid defender again, and Darius Garland can lock in on that side of the ball too, I'll go as far as they can be a top 3 seed. That's how confident I am. And they're still, their guys are still young. What? Let me just look at their roster. Evan Mobley, 20? Born in 01. Darius Garland, born in 2000. These guys are like 20, 21, 22 years old. Jared Allen, like 23, 24. And they still got some vets, like they got Kevin Love, who was real solid last year. They have Isaac Okoro, like I said, he's like 20. They got they don't have these guys anymore, right? But they got Ricky Rubio back, another solid veteran point guard. They picked up another veteran in Robin Lopez, just another big body down there. They got Karis LeVert too. How can I forget? They still have Karis LeVert who can. They're probably gonna ask him to lock in on defense too and still be a good scorer. I really like this team, man. If they can get their guys to lock in on the perimeter defense, they can go places. I mean, I think about the standings. Let me just see. 2023. Let me just look up the Just look at the standings, because who would they be better than, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out. 2021, 2022, Eastern Conference. Hello? Here we go. Okay. It's still rough. But I think, of course, everybody that didn't make the playoffs are going to be better than. I think they're better than the Hawks. The Nets is a question mark still. I think they're better than the Bulls. I think they're better than the Raptors now. Now, these top 4 teams. Now, don't flame me for this, but I'd say they're better than the Heat. I think the Heat lost PJ Tucker for one. I think they're a good team, but I don't think when it comes down to it, when it comes to the playoffs and everything, this next season, I don't think they beat a healthy Bucks. I don't think they beat a healthy Celtics. Celtics out Malcolm Brogdon. I think these two teams are going to be and the Sixers too. I mean, I think James Harden's going to be on a tear this year, and they got some good pieces. They got PJ Tucker and some other good pieces. So I think they're going to have something to prove this season. I think these 3 teams are going to be the top 3 seeds, right? The Heat are going to be up here too because they're going to be a good regular season team, and I might be underrating them, but I think these 3 teams are going to be the best 3 teams in the East. But then 4 and 5 got to be, in my opinion, the Heat and the Cavs, because the Nets, golly, I don't know. The Nets still have all their guys though. It's like, when I look at it like this, the Cavs could very well be a 6 seed, right? Because you're gonna have these 4 teams. You're gonna have the Nets. That's 5. So the Cavs could very well be a 6 seed. But if we remember correctly, like this past season, they were a top 4 seed until all the injuries started happening, and now they're adding Donavon Mitchell. So they could very well. I think they're gonna rank. I think they're at least being a top 6 seed. I think they're playoff lock, guaranteed. But I think they could be anywhere from 6 to 3. I don't think they get 1 or 2, but they can be anywhere from 6 to 3 because I think Evan Mobley's gonna take a huge jump too. So either way, they can be anywhere from 6 to 3, and they can easily get to the second round this year, in my opinion. And then, but they don't have to win now. That's the thing for them. They don't have to win now. They're still building. They got Donavon Mitchell for 3 years, Evan Mobley for like 7, Darius Garland for like 4, Jared Allen for 4. Like, they're good. They're good to build on this for a couple years. So if they can at least make the playoffs, maybe win a playoff series, that's all they need to do right now. And I think they can easily do that. Maybe get bounced in the first round if they end up getting like a 5 or 6 seed, having to play one of these 4 teams, or the Nets or something like that. But if they like end up getting a higher seed, like a 4 seed or a 3 seed, and play somebody like the Bulls or the Hawks or the Raptors, I think they win that series and get to the second round. So it's going to be interesting, man. But I really, really like this team, and I think. I don't want to say they won the trade because now that I come over to talk to the Jazz, you know what? Hang on. We're talking about the Jazz now. Told you I got a hat for almost every team. Oh, wow. The green screen's killing it. Okay, maybe we don't put this hat on. Hang on. Let's see how it looks. Nah. I don't know why. It's yellow, but the green screen kills it. We're going to keep the Cavs hat on. But this is a Jazz hat. But now we're going to talk about the Jazz, right? So the Jazz are very interesting. Because out of this trade, they got, like we said, they got Larry Markkinen. Oh, chair's crazy. Ochai Agbaji, Colin Sexton. They signed to a 4-year, $72 million, I want to say. And then 3 unprotected first-round picks, 2 pick swaps. So they have gotten, they have the best. I think they've had the best offseason, too. Because, how many picks do they have? Have they gotten through all these trades? I gotta scroll up. They'll tell. Well, I'm sure Woj will tell me. I saw one tweet. It's like 13 or 14 unprotected or slightly protected first round picks, which is insane. That's insane. And they might still be solid. I would assume they're still going to trade Mike Conley. If they don't get a lot out of him, assume they're trading Mike Conley. I would assume Jordan Clarkson's gone and Bojan Bogdanovic is gone. Maybe even Rudy Gay, if they can try to, like, all these veteran guys, I assume they're out the window. I mean, maybe keep somebody like him, just have veteran presence in the locker room, but you still need that. But I would assume at least those three, Jordan Clarkson, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Mike Conley are gone, right? I mean, so they got a lot of young pieces they can work around, man. I mean, they got all these young guys, right? Just all these young guys. They got V8, they got THT from the Lakers in that deal that they did for I don't even remember who at this point. I don't even know who that deal was for anymore. It was only a couple days ago, but it was who was it? Okay, I gotta go check now. Who was that deal for? Okay, I'm looking it up. THT trade Jazz. Oh yeah, that was Pat Bev. That's right. How could I forget? I'm a Clippers fan. But yeah, so they got TH2 who can maybe be something. You know, they got Malik Beasley. They got all these young guys, and they have, more importantly, like, it was like 13 unprotected firsts, and then they got all these other pick swaps, and they got all these other just lower tier protected picks. All these picks. They pulled a Sam Presti in OKC. That's what they did. And it's a smart thing to do because they're not going to sign anybody, right? The Jazz aren't going out and sign anybody, so they got to do what they did They got to do what they did to build these new teams. They got to draft well, and then draft a couple stars, and then trade other picks to get more stars, right? And I mean, I think this is a problem. They got some good young guys that are fun to watch. Colin Sexton, he's going to go out and get you 20, right? Jared Vanderbilt, in my opinion, is a really good player. Jared Butler's solid. I mean, Malik Beasley's real solid. He's going to go out and get you 20 too. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I really like his game. I mean, they got some good young talent, and it's gonna be good, man. I mean, Colin Sexton might average 26, 27 this year, for all we know, and turn into an all-star. Like, he already chucks shots. He's gonna be chucking shots even more on this team. I mean, this is gonna be, like, Jazz are still gonna sell tickets. Like, it's not gonna be the most boring team to watch. Like, they're gonna be fun. Let me say they got young guys go out there, run, and just run the floor, and just, now they're gonna lose, right? They're gonna be in the Victor Wembanyama. I can't say his name, right? But we know who I'm talking about. They're gonna be in the sweepstakes for him, right? And it's gonna be good. I mean, they might mess around and get him because it's between them and the Spurs right now, in my opinion. So it's gonna be good. I mean, Danny Ainge over there, and all that front office, outstanding job. I mean, to get that many picks for Rudy Gobert and now Donavon Mitchell too, it's crazy. So you can't be mad at it if you're a Jazz fan, honestly. I mean, you have a full reset, but you can mess around in 3-4 seasons, be right back up to the top of the West, for all we know. So I applaud it, man. I really like the trade for both sides, and I do think this shook up the league, and I think the East is even stronger now. The East just got another All-Star. The East, I don't know, man. I like how it's not just one conference stacked up anymore, man. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this trade in the comments. Let me know if y'all think it won't work, if y'all think it will, who y'all think won the trade. Like I said, I think it's a W for both sides, honestly. The Jazz over there, phenomenal job. The Cavs came out of nowhere when everybody thought he was going to the Knicks. So I applaud both sides of this, and I think it's going to be a very fun season to watch. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, man. Peace.